In Nigerian politics, a curious phenomenon has unfolded time and again. Principles are elastic, easily stretched and manipulated in pursuit of personal gain. The political space is filled with men and women who switch sides, drop long-held beliefs, and abandon their followers with startling ease, all in the name of self-interest. Nowhere is this more apparent than in the recent political somersaults of Bwala, Reno Omokri, and Nyesom Wike, all of whom have transformed from vocal critics of President Bola Tinubu into seemingly comfortable allies. The lesson from this political shift is clear. In Nigeria, power and privilege matter more than principle, and in this system, politicians care about only one thing: their stomach. Let's begin with Bwala, the former spokesperson for Atiku Abubakar during the 2023 elections, who spared no words in attacking Bola Tinubu. His rhetoric was fierce, his stance unwavering, and his disdain for Tinubu's presidency palpable. He even called the February 2023 election a graveyard victory, insinuating that Tinubu's triumph was hollow and steeped in criminality. He declared it the most criminally organized election in Nigerian history. Bwala's words carried the weight of conviction at the time, but as we have seen, convictions can be sold to the highest bidder. Since those heated election days, Bwala has reportedly made several visits to Tinubu at the Aso Rock presidential villa. The same Tinubu he once painted as the architect of a fraudulent electoral process. His earlier criticisms have now faded into the background, and it's impossible not to wonder what could have possibly motivated this dramatic shift. The answer, of course, is no mystery. For Bwala, like so many others in the murky waters of Nigerian politics, principles were never the point. His political convictions have been sacrificed for personal gain, as is customary in a political system where proximity to power guarantees access to wealth and influence. And once again, the bellies of the political elites are prioritized over the interests of the Nigerian people. Reno Omokri's case is another glaring example of how easily politicians abandon their principles for a seat at the table. A vocal critic of Tinubu during the 2023 elections, Omokri was one of the most prominent faces in the anti-Tinubu campaign. From social media tirades to organizing protests in London, Omokri left no stone unturned in his quest to discredit Tinubu.
And then he also said that, well, it was a forfeiture of assets, and if it's a forfeiture of assets, then Bola Tinubu is not a criminal. Listen, I'm going to read for you something on the website of the Department of Justice, and I'm going to put it in the description box of this video so you can watch it yourself. Now, I'm quoting $160,000 drug money to the government. So it's an asset forfeiture. You know, he does not have the right to say that he was not convicted or is not a criminal. He is a criminal. And so that's what I'm trying to tell Nigerians. This has nothing to do. Nobody is paying me. Nobody is hyping me. I'm doing this for patriotic reasons, for love of my country. We cannot have a known drug lord as our president. No. And if Bola Tinubu is saying that what I've said is wrong, let him take me to court. It's a simple matter.
He didn't mince words, labeling the president a drug lord and using every platform available to cast aspersions on Tinubu's character and fitness for office. Omokri's criticisms reached a fever pitch, with many seeing him as the leading voice of opposition. His influence was considerable, particularly on social media, where he rallied thousands of Nigerians against Tinubu. However, fast forward a few months and Omokri's stance has undergone a curious transformation. How ironic. Today, the same man who calls Tinubu unprintable names is now aligning himself with the Tinubu administration. The transition from fierce opposition to quiet collaboration is as predictable as it is disheartening. What could have changed Omokri's mind so quickly? What could have changed in such a short time? Again, it isn't about ideology, justice, or patriotism. It's about the stomach. It's about interest. Omokri, like many others, is now focused on feeding at the chambers of power. The protests, the fiery speeches, and the scathing social media posts were merely performances aimed at gaining leverage in the political game. Once he realized that resistance wouldn't fill his stomach, Omokri adapted, shifting his allegiance to where the rewards of power could be found. His personal interest, not his beliefs, was his ultimate guiding force. Then, there is the curious case of Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State. Wike at one point vehemently opposed the All Progressive Congress, famously declaring it a cancer and vowing never to associate with it.
I get malaria. Now cancer they find. Why they talk like that? I get malaria. Where they easy to treat. Now one man go cancer, why go die immediately? Which party? APC. I'm not going to talk like that. Party we don't kill Nigeria. Where we go now? Only fight one and fight my PDP, I go fight them there. If they win me, they win me. If I win them, I win them there. I think they run that, but me and no some don't fit to win me. I will like that, we'll fight them there. But to leave PDP, we get malaria, go APC, we get cancer. Ha! Come, and the stage of the cancer, where they for APC, now the fourth stage, where they say, doctor they talk say, it's the hard. In fact, when they say, now first stage, make it call God, say, okay, it don't happen.
He cast the APC as the embodiment of everything wrong with Nigerian politics and governance. Wike's words were as clear as they were forceful. He would never, under any circumstance, be part of anything connected to the APC. Yet, just like Bwala and Omokri, Wike's words proved to be as fluid as the shifting tides of power. Today, Wike is not only part of the APC administration, but holds a prominent position as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. His once-staunch opposition to the APC has been replaced by a newfound loyalty to the party and its leader. Wike, like his counterparts, realized that there is much to be gained from being part of the ruling class, and so, in true Nigerian political fashion, he discarded his previous convictions for a chance to feed at the table of power. It is worthy of mention that Wike is still a member of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, but still feeds from the corners of the All Progressive Congress. The transformation of Wike from critic to ally was not a gradual process of reflection or growth. No. It was a simple calculation of self-interest. Like Bwala and Omokri, Wike cares little about ideology and even less about the people he once claimed to serve. What drives him, like so many others, is his interest, the irresistible lure of the wealth, influence, and the privileges that come with political office. His shift from opposition to collaboration is yet another reminder that in Nigerian politics, principles are expendable and personal gain is paramount. What these stories reveal is a disturbing truth about Nigerian politics. It is again played not for the benefit of the people, but for the satisfaction of the elites. Elites' insatiable hunger for power and wealth. Politicians like Bwala, Omokri, and Wike care only about their interests, and their actions are driven by a desire to maintain their access to the riches and privileges that come with political office. This transactional approach to governance has devastating consequences for the country as a whole. The ordinary Nigerian who supported these politicians, who believed in their words and rallied behind their causes, is left feeling betrayed and abandoned. The very same leaders who once called for justice, transparency, and change have now joined forces with individuals and systems they once denounced. This betrayal is not just a slap in the face of their followers. It is a testament to the moral bankruptcy that plagues Nigerian politics. In a system where power is the ultimate currency, politicians do not care about building a better nation. No. They care about securing their personal fortunes, about making sure that their stomachs are full, while the majority of Nigerians are left to grapple with poverty, insecurity, and political instability. The people who fought for them, who turned against friends and family in the heat of election battles, are forgotten as soon as these politicians walk through the gates of Aso Rock, ready to fill their bellies with the spoils of power. The tragic reality of Nigerian politics is that the people are always the ones left behind. They are always the ones left to suffer the consequences. While politicians like Bwala, Omokri, and Wike navigate the halls of power, making deals and securing their futures, ordinary Nigerians are left to deal with the consequences of their betrayal. The promises made during election campaigns quickly dissolve once these politicians have achieved their goals. The cries for justice, the cries for development and a better Nigeria fade into the background as they focus on what truly matters to them, their interests. What is even more disturbing is how this stomach-driven approach to politics perpetuates a cycle of poverty and corruption. As long as politicians prioritize their interests, as long as politicians prioritize their personal gain, as long as they prioritize their stomach over the needs of the people, there will be no meaningful change in Nigeria. The system remains broken, and the elites remain insulated from the suffering of the masses. They continue to enrich themselves at the expense of the country, at the expense of the millions of Nigerians who struggle to survive every day. If there is one lesson to be learned from the hypocrisy of Bwala, Omokri, and Wike, it is that Nigerian politics must change. The people must demand more from their leaders. They must hold their leaders accountable. They must hold our politicians responsible for their actions and refuse to tolerate the culture of self-serving politics that has brought the country to its knees. It is time for a new generation of leaders to emerge. Leaders who care about more than just their stomachs, who are committed to serving the people and building a better future for all Nigerians. Until that happens, the cycle of betrayal and hypocrisy will continue, and the people will remain at the mercy of a political class that cares only about feeding itself. The question is, how long will the people wait before they demand the change they deserve?